think of a better way to cap off season 1 of my podcast, Everybody's Got Something, than with my dear friends and colleagues, Amy, Dan Harris, who have been both very public about their private struggles. We're going to hear from them along with our colleague Elizabeth Vargas in just a moment. But first, I really want you to take a look.
I'm going to be the happiest person in the whole wide world.
Everybody's got something.
I feel like I had a huge secret.
It is such a gift to receive love.
And Amy and Dan have shared their something very publicly. Amy is wrapping up her first mammogram.
You said the thing that absolutely made up my mind to do this thing, to have a mammogram in front of 5 million people. You said to me, I guarantee you, if you walk into that mammo van, you will save a life.
Just a few short weeks later, words I never expected to hear, I was told that I have breast cancer.
I was telling you I had no connection to the disease. I was standing there with stage 2 invasive breast cancer that had already spread to my lymph node.
And had no idea.
And had no idea. Felt perfectly healthy. And so because you gave me that nudge, I feel like it's on me. The onus is on me now to give back and to pay it forward.
You told your story, and so beautifully well. Let's hear Dan Harris's story. 2004. Good Morning America.
I had a panic attack that morning.
But it's too early to prescribe statins slowly for cancer production.
All of a sudden, this just wave of fear rolls over me, and my heart starts racing, my palms are sweating, my mouth dries up, my lungs seize up, I just can't breathe.
Years of covering worn, torn regions took a toll on Dan.
When I got home from spending a lot of time overseas, I got depressed. My way of coping with it was very stupid, which is that I started to self-medicate with recreational drugs.
Amy and Dan both advocate for a cause they deeply believe in. Amy, for early detection, and Dan, the benefits of meditation. But both admit there were some bumps along the way. Amy, you do not like all journalists. We don't want to be the story. How did you handle that?
What I wasn't totally prepared for was some backlash, because there are many cancer groups out there who don't agree with certain treatments, don't agree with where the funding is going, and I was naive to all of it. I believe that what I have to say now when I speak around the country is a better message than it was before.
For you guys, going public I really don't think you had a choice, because it's kind of a no-brainer from a public health perspective to go public. You absolutely both saved countless lives. I decided to do it because I, as a result of having this panic attack, ultimately found meditation, which really was useful to me. And I felt that, too, was a public health message. The fact of the matter is that meditation is hard. The whole game is just to notice when you've become distracted and start again and again and again. And anybody can do that.
Thank you for making your mess your message and for sharing your something with us.
So remember to always be kind.
That is a perfect way for me to end the first season. And full disclosure, Elizabeth was supposed to join us on the podcast. Judy called at the last second.
Judy, I have this annoying thing called 2020. I had to go do a shoot. No.
I know, but we missed
so sorry to miss it.
Shout out on the podcast, but I said, can you please be here, because so happy for you, the message that you are sharing. Your book has been on the New York Times bestsellers list for 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
People are reaching out to you. First of all, people who are not familiar with your story, share it.
Well, obviously, I'm more in the vein of Dan, but even worse, I guess. I don't know. I've been struggling with anxiety and panic attacks my entire life, and I chose to self-medicate with alcohol. And it turned into an addiction for me in the last 8 years of my life. So I found out in the course of writing my book about this that 60% of women who are alcoholics also suffer from anxiety. So there's an enormous link there, and I've been absolutely amazed. I get messages every day, many of them, people stopping me on the street to say, thank you for talking about this. I suffer from anxiety too. I drank too to self-medicate, or there's somebody I love who's going through this, and your book has helped open up the discussion,
right,
because I think that's what
taboo to talk about women.
Whether it's breast cancer or anxiety, or I mean, listen, especially with anxiety and addiction, there's an enormous stigma around it, and anything to reduce that stigma is invaluable.
I know people are reaching out to you. People are reaching out. This is a very busy month for you, Amy Robach.
And you as well.
I know, but when you're not here, it's because you're speaking. I know that you did something just recently, last week. Where was it?
I was in San Francisco. I was in Greensboro. I'm going to Boca Raton this weekend, going to St. Louis
Louis after that, and have been to Jacksonville this month. You know, you're in the same rotation, but it's about spreading the message of early detection. The fact that we have those confusing guidelines out there saying women can wait till they're 45 or they're 50. Well, guess what? You know, I was a perfectly healthy, or so I thought, 40-year-old woman who thought that I could push that test, and thank God I didn't because of you, Miss Roberts. And I walked in to that mammogram thinking that cancer couldn't happen to me because all of these people are telling me I'm at average risk. I had no family history, so how could I possibly have cancer? My message to women everywhere is that it can happen to you, and it's up to you to make sure you get those tests and you keep those appointments and you make them every year, starting at whatever age you want to make them, not what a regulatory committee tells you you should.
And in my recovery process, meditating has been a big boost. And you have really helped to continue to bring it to the forefront about meditation.
I've been doing my best. You and I have spoken about it. Elizabeth is doing it as well.
Right.
I can't get, I don't want to name any names, but her initials are Amy Robach. Can't get her to meditate.
He was looking at me when he was talking. Anyone can do it.
No, it's true.
It's true. Anybody can do it. Amy's one of these people, and this is very common. I hear this all the time. Amy says, you know, I can't do it. I can't clear my mind. And my message is you do not have to clear your mind. That is only doable if you're enlightened. Congratulations. Or if you have died. The whole point of meditation is just to focus for a few seconds at a time on one thing. Usually it's your breath or a mantra. And then when you get lost, you start again.
Yeah, exactly. It helps people get through their something. It really does. Amy Robach.
Okay, all right.
I'm happy to be talking with you on your podcast that comes out today as well.
You were an amazing guest. We're posting it today, and you really shine a light on some very interesting things.
That out. Hey guys, you know what? Also, it's a message that in the workplace, and our workplace just happens to be very public, but it's no different than anybody else, and their colleagues become friends and coming together and help.
There's a little bit of, they say in recovery, don't compare and despair. You look at everybody else and think their life is so fantastic. Why is mine so painful? And when you talk about it, as I think all of us have, you realize even people you admire and watch on television every morning, like Robin Roberts and Amy Robach, might have something a little challenging or difficult.
Once again, everybody's got something. All right, thank you. And you can download my podcast, Everybody's Got Something, on iTunes and robinpodcast.com.